Let's get out of the bathrobe. Look a little bit more professional. There we go. See, nobody can tell. I actually read an article this morning. I can tell this story. There's nobody in the live stream. I read an article this morning about judges. They've been holding court using like meeting video chat software, and they're asking lawyers, please treat it like court still. Uh, Apparently, lawyers have been going to court sitting by the pool in their bathing suit, or one person was still in bed, like clearly still like in bed under the covers, like sitting in bed doing their court meeting. Uh, or they're in their bedroom with the bed in the background of their live stream while they're in court, and judges are like, show a little bit more professionalism, please. This is still court. Move this over. I keep leaning out of frame. All right. Just give it just a few more seconds. So there's one person that's not in class today, and I just messaged them like, hey, if you're... I messaged them during the last quiz, the first quiz, because the way that we are doing it is you have to log in to be in attendance today. And if you didn't do that first quiz, you're not here. That's how attendance is being taken. And I messaged him at like 8. And he just messaged me a couple minutes ago. 10-4, I'll give it a try. So, and he hasn't. You can see 13 of 15. There's 2 people missing. One hasn't talked to me at all. One responded like, yeah, I'll try to get there. Like, we'll see what happens. So, all right, I think everybody's here. I have the same number as the last time. That seems to be the number that we go with. All right, a switch is designed to safely allow and interrupt the flow of current. How would a switch monitor current? I mean, I know who put that. I watched them go through the whole quiz in about 3 minutes, and they missed every single question. They just hit A all the way down. So, the number of actions that allows us to close the switch is referred to as the throws of the switch. So, pulls and throws. That's the... I dropped my pen. Hang on. All right. So let's open up Microsoft Paint, and I will explain the pulls and the throws. All right. So, got my handy dandy note maker. So in a switch, a regular switch, a single pole, single throw switch would be... Oh, I need a bigger line. Let's see. This would be a single pole, single throw switch. You have 2 positions the switch can be in. This is open, and then undo. I'll change the color here so it doesn't look like a straight line. And that is closed. You'll have the connection made there and there. So you have open and closed. The This is a single pole, single throw switch. The poles is how many circuits it makes and breaks, and then the throws is how many positions it is allowing current through it. So a drawing of a single pole double throw switch would be like so. I'm using the colors because I can, and it adds emphasis. I bet I could program something so that I could flip between the colors really easy. Anyway, this would be a single pole double throw. You would have, and this is a three-way switch right here. This is a schematic drawing of a three-way switch. You have one pole, so there's one circuit this is making and breaking, and it has two different positions it could be in that it's allowing current. Another example of a switch like this would be in some automotive uses. There is a rocker style switch where if you press it up, it's like high, and then in the middle it's off, and then if you press down on it, it's low. Something like that. That would also be a single pole double throw switch because it still has two positions that it's allowing current flow. Yeah. So this is single pole, single throw. My pen wasn't close enough. Single pole, single throw, single pole. So let's write that up at the top. And this is single pole double throw. So let's go in the other direction. We have this would be double pole single throw. So this has two circuits that it's making and breaking, and one switch throw makes and breaks both circuits at the same time. That this dotted line right here is called an interlock. So you can't switch one or the other. You have to switch both of them at the same time. This would be used in like a 240 volt fan situation where you're turning on and off a giant fan, or in some extreme circumstances if you are, and you can make and break multiple circuits with this. Whenever you get into two pole switches, you need to make sure that they are listed and labeled for what your purpose is, because some of them won't be rated for 240, like to handle 240 volts. So you would need two different phases of electricity, or you would need the same phase, just different circuits. You need to basically, if you're using a double pole switch, you need to make sure it's the correct double pole switch for your goals. Also, double pole switches look almost exactly like four-way switches, but they are completely different, like on the inside. And I went to the store, and I was wiring up my dad's shop. I went to the store and got everything that I would need to wire up Dad's shop, and he wanted to be able to turn his lights on from multiple entrances to the shop and be able to control, uh, all the lights from every way he could come into the shop. I was like, all right, that's easy. I can do that. And I got up there. My dad lives an hour away from. He lives in Warren, which is, in the middle of nowhere. And I get up there and I'm done. I'm basically done, and I'm wiring up the last little bit of the stuff, and I get to the switch and I'm like, "Oh shit. This is not the right switch." And so I run to the little hardware store up there, and things are 10 times more expensive than they're supposed to be. Like a little $3 switch is, maybe it's not $30, but like the little 50-cent boxes that I needed, little metal 50-cent boxes, they were like $5 up there. And I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. I could drive to Beaumont and get the little box and drive back for cheaper than buying everything I need here. Which is probably why everything's so expensive, because nobody shops there. Alright. A circuit that is drawn on paper that depicts a systematic way that current will flow is referred to as a schematic diagram. So there's, what we'll be talking about is schematic and pictorial diagrams today. Schematic diagram would be what these drawings are for. So a schematic diagram, just to put one on here real quick. This is a battery. You have a fuse. Oh, shit. You have a switch, a resistor, and your back. So this would be a schematic version of a... Actually, did I? I did. I said I was going to... I looked up some things so I wouldn't have to draw everything. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to delete those before tomorrow's class. And I did. So this is a schematic version of a circuit. A pictorial version of a circuit would have like an actual picture of a battery, or let's use the eraser. That is clearly not an eraser. Okay. Is that what color 2 does? Yes. I'm clearly not an expert of Microsoft Paint. Alright. So it would have a battery, and then it would go around to an actual picture of a switch. Then it would go to an actual resistor. So yeah, that would be a more pictorial view of the drawing. And I apologize for everything, just everything. All right. Schematic. The term blank comes from the fact that short circuit would be, going back here, is, so this resistor would be referred to as the load. And anytime that it gets bypassed like that, and there's no, basically the resistance goes to 0 in the circuit, then that would be a short. What type of circuit has no current flow through it? That would be a open circuit. So sometimes, and this would be an example of an open circuit, the switch you can see is open. Uh, you can see that the switch is open and not allowing current flow through it. Closed would be the term for a normally operating circuit. So like a light switch that is on is a closed switch because the connection is closed and letting current through. Short circuit is when there's infinite current, so it's bypassed all the resistance and current is just going through infinite. Like it spikes up super high and then trips. Excuse me. And then a complete circuit, why would you put that? In what world? This is probably one of the people that just clicked through everything and didn't actually answer it. But they're not in here, so I can talk shit on them. They're clearly not putting effort in. So why would they be in the live stream? A switch that either makes or breaks one circuit path at a time is considered a single pole switch. Yep, nailed it. 2 three-way switches are used to control a light load from 2 locations. Yes. So that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. My dad wanted to control light switches or his lights from multiple locations. So I put in 3-way switches for him so that he could come in and just flip one switch. No matter what the position of the other switches are, he can flip a switch and turn everything on. And then a single pole double throw switch is also known as a 3-way switch. Covered that a little bit earlier. So this is also known as a 3-way switch. Alright, let's start the next quiz. So we're looking at quiz 4. Yesterday I did the wrong quiz right here. Lesson 4. There it is, lesson 4. I'm checking myself. Alright, so right now we're going to do lesson 4. Lunch is also going to be included in this time period. So our next live stream will be at 1:45. So this is going to be like a 3-hour time between live streams. So go ahead and take your hour lunch whenever you want to in here. It's not like we're like hitting it really hard today. All right. Have fun at lunch.